But it's not just about you figuring it out, which, by the way, and again, please don't be insulted, but I don't know why everybody thinks they're so qualified to think that they understand Scripture better than whoever their leaders are. After all, especially when you've only been 3 years, 5 years out of a church, that all of a sudden now you're a Bible scholar emeritus. You're a sage. And I'm not saying that to be condescending and insulting. I'm not. Okay? But are you open to receive a different thought? Like when I demonstrate from Leviticus 25 that both calendars can be scripturally argued. And you sit there going, no, because that's the way you were raised, that's what you always believed, and you just can't wrap your brain around a new thought. This is what's happening in chapter 14. They cannot wrap their brains around a new thought. What's the new thought? The new thought is being outnumbered by bigger, scarier people is nothing to be afraid of. That's a new thought. Remember, they were slaves in a country that was bigger and scarier with all of the military and everything else, and they, with their slave mentality, can't wrap their brain around a new thought that this isn't scary. There's no reason to be afraid of this. Well, can you wrap your brain around a new thought that I don't have to figure this all out, I could trust leadership and be under an authority? That doesn't derail all of your personal responsibility. Your first responsibility was to find leadership. And by the way, you might make a few mistakes along that way until you find one that really is where you need to be. And you probably needed to be where you were for each step of that journey up to a point. But are you making moves because in pride and ego you think you know more than maybe you know? That's tough. That's tough, because this is the susceptibility. This is also coming from people that look very smart. 10 of the 12 very well-respected men who went into the land came back and said, there's no way. That's basically what they said. There's no way. They will eat us alive. They will kill us. We're done. They're going to take our women and children and kill our men, and we're going to lose. Now, those highly respected men with all their years of understanding of life and everything were wrong. And here's Moses, they hardly know him, and they're supposed to believe him and listen to him. That's hard. That's really, really tough, isn't it? And so you're going to go and I've had people say to me over the years, you mean all these church fathers and all these pastors for all these years are wrong and you're right, you young kid who knows nothing? That's the same argument as right here, isn't it? All these people have been doing it all these years, and they went to their seminaries, and they studied the Bible, blah, 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 blah. But they can't wrap their brains around something that's new and true. Now, it's not new in terms of like really being new. It's the idea, the thought, the revelation is new. It's always been true that Yahweh can handle anything. They didn't know this, though. That was the new thought. That was the revelation. That they could go into a place where the giants literally were people like 8, 9 feet tall or more, and the walled cities and all of the other things going on. Under normal thoughts, we're a bunch of slaves. How are we going to beat that? Well, I don't know. Same one that just wrecked Egypt in your lifetime, and you watched that. You can't handle that? Parted the sea. You walk through it. But see, we're dense, we're stubborn, we're slow. Because we can't wrap our brains around these things. So we default back to our old way of thinking. And in our old way of thinking, it's about that self-sovereignty. We want to do what we want to do and do it, it's me, me, me. I'm right, I'm going to do it my way. Especially when you already recognize you've been lied to already. So now that you are in that defensive mode against being lied to again, now you're very reluctant to believe anybody, which is good, I guess, on some levels. But that's where you have to ask Yah to guide you. Is he going to guide you to the place where you need to be so that you don't rebel against him?